This is No Filter Media. If it's real, you will hear it here.
Yo, man, Ben, a corruption.
To the courts now, where the prosecution in the gang trial of Tesha and his 24 co-accused, including a medical doctor, called its first witness to the Home Circuit Court today. The men were arraigned this morning a few minutes before 11 o'clock. They have pleaded guilty. They have pleaded not guilty to all 32 counts. Raquel Porter has details.
The witness, a detective assigned to the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime CTOC division, took the stand shortly before 3 p.m., prompting shuffling in the dock where Miller and several of his co-accused were seated. The detective testified that he had been assigned to CTOC, Special Operations Unit, for 4 years with responsibility that included conducting operations targeting high-value individuals. He was asked to recall Sunday, March 5, 2023. The witness said that at approximately 4:30 a.m., he reported to CTOC base for a briefing on an operation to be conducted in Spanish Town. During the briefing, he was shown a warrant in relation to Andre McFarlane, otherwise called Globe or Ripper. Following the briefing, the team traveled to a dwelling in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. The witness said he positioned himself at the back of the building while the breach team announced, "Police, we have a warrant and we're going to enter." Sometime later, he was informed that one man had been found. After the premises was cleared, the detective said he entered the building and spoke with family members. He testified that he saw a man who was identified to him as Andre McFarlane. He and 2 other officers were instructed to remain at the premises with McFarlane. The witness said that while there, he heard a motor vehicle and observed 3 men exiting it. As he was about to alert his colleague, another vehicle arrived. 2 of the men entered the yard and one of them shouted, "Ripper." He testified that the men began running toward him and that one raised a firearm. The detective said he fired at the man who fell to the ground. Another man ran past him but was pursued by a colleague, eventually escaping over a fence at the back of the building. Another officer retrieved a firearm from the man who had fallen. The witness said additional members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force arrived and the injured man was placed in a service vehicle and taken to hospital. The detective later went to the front of the building where he was introduced to Bjorn Thomas, otherwise called BJ, who told him he was a truck driver. Prior to today's adjournment, the witness was shown a photograph after presiding judge Justice Dale Palmer overruled objection from the defense that the foundation was not laid for the document to be shown.
This evening, we chronicle the story of an ex-convict who is struggling to get his record expunged 16 years after spending time behind bars for ganja. The man who said he has turned his life around details the horrors of fighting to hold down a job and operating a taxi without a license due to his criminal record. Here's Kalisha Williams with that story.
Imagine being released from a prison cell years ago, but still being a prisoner of society. Well, that is the story of this man who we will call John. In 2010, he was nabbed at the airport with 15 pounds of ganja.
After I do my time and come out, you feel like I'm still in a prison because I'm unable to function freely.
He only spent 18 months in prison, but he said he feels he has been sentenced to life. That's because he has not been able to get a job due to his criminal record. After several failed attempts to get his record expunged, he decided to become a taxi operator. But that journey has been a cat and mouse game with the authorities.
To get a badge, it was devastating. I have to keep on hide from the transport them. Sometimes I have to talk to them and I have to give them, buy them lunch or something for me, then give me a blind. I actually buy the car and to get a route license is the next problem again. So it was hard.
John says those hurdles have not derailed his plans to turn his life around, But the challenges have taken a mental toll on him and his family, and so he is yearning for freedom.
Everywhere I go, it's the same thing. So taxi is the only thing I could do to keep myself going.
He told us he's a changed man and believes he should be forgiven for what he's now calling a stupid mistake.
So when I come out now, I just learn ways of how you can utilize the bank, have good credit and stuff like that. You know, how to invest in a stock, what type of stock, like Transhighway and stuff like that. So my material understand a lot more, understand how to go about things. You know, so I think back then I would lack of knowledge and peer pressure.
He's now hoping that he will stand to benefit from the bill passed in the Senate on Friday to broaden access to expungement in the island.
I'm just excited, make me happy. You know, me happy, me let him sleep last night and I just joy to just hear the news, you know. So I just know what the capability, just I want that to remove. Because I make a covenant and me lock up and say I never do nothing illegal again, you know.
Government Senator and attorney Charles Sinclair has been advocating for that same Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Act to be expanded for years. He said there are many reformed people like John who have been struggling to get their record expunged.
But I realized in all of the letters that came to me, and I have several of them here, that all of them referred to the third schedule in the Criminal Records Expungement legislation that was passed in 2014, right, which made that offense unexpungible.
So with the bill now passed,
so it is only now left for the gazetting of the bill for it to become law.
Ports are under pressure. Uncollected shipments linked to Hurricane Melissa are posing a challenge. Manufacturers and exporters say it's taking too long for them to clear shipments of raw material. Deidre Thomas reports.
As Jamaica continues to recover from the effects of Hurricane Melissa, a surge of humanitarian relief and commercial shipments intended to support rebuilding efforts is now placing severe strain on the nation's port. President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, Catherine Silvera, says that this worsening congestion is already delaying access to raw materials and disrupting distribution across manufacturing, exporting, and retailer sectors.
We have been getting calls from our members, from manufacturers that are trying to clear particularly less than container load shipments from the ports. And they're having challenges because of a backlog coming out of the relief items that were sent after Hurricane Melissa.
Ms. Silvera says while the inflow of supplies reflects a strong diaspora support, the large volume of uncleared cargo is slowing operations.
Manufacturers and businesses, we operate on almost a just-in-time inventory. What that means is, you may allow a window of possibly 2 or 3 weeks in case there's any delays in shipment, delays at the port, and you build that into your inventory. What these delays are causing is that time frame is passing, more than that time frame is passing, and they're unable to clear their goods, which means that that could be a complete shutdown of their operations because they might not be able to access their raw materials, their packaging, any type of element like that. It also can cause additional costs to the business, even though it may not be their fault as to why the shipment has not been stripped.
She's appealing to citizens and donors to collect their shipments promptly and, where possible, work through established channels to help ease congestion.
This is really a call to individuals, businesses, organizations, anyone that knows that someone overseas has shipped them some items, some relief items. We're asking for you to please go urgently to the ports and to access those items. It may be that you're not sure what to do. Jamaica Customs is there to assist. Even, you could perhaps reach out to us at the JMEA to see how best we can maybe point you in the right direction.
In the meantime, the JMEA has engaged port operators, urging faster cargo processing and clearer guidance for importers. Restoring efficient port operations is essential for stabilizing supply chains and supporting Jamaica's post-Hurricane Melissa recovery. Deidre Thomas, TVJ News.